Life has been good for Denis Karo, as he has just managed to have the greatest season of his career so far, managing to help Arsenal win the treble. That is, of course, the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the big one, the Champions League. And on top of that, Karo was able to win the Premier League Golden Boot, as well as the Champions League Golden Boot, and add in the 8 Player of the Month awards that Karo got this season. And you can see why he is truly having the greatest season of his life. But the season is not over yet, as there is one more trophy that Karo has to set his sights on. And that is, of course, the European Championship, also known as the Euro Cup. The Netherlands have won this trophy only one time in their history, and Karo's looking to help them win it for a second time, as the Netherlands face off against the Czech Republic in the group, and Bakker on the ball, passing it to Xavi Simons, who's brought down for a penalty in the 5th minute of the match. And the main man, Karo, aka Slim Shady, is gonna have a shot and put it into the back of the net. And Karo with a goal, immediately making an impact in the group stage. And Karo, of course, donning the yellow hair. And that is, of course, so the media talks about his hair instead of his performances. And Barak passing it to Varlaki, who passes it to Hojlek. And Hojlek with a shot, bringing the Czech Republic back into the match in the 13th minute. And maybe I have underestimated the Czech Republic. This is going to be no walk in the park, as Bakker passes it to Karo, and Karo with some skills on nobody. Hojlek to Schick, Schick to Sadilek, and Jurasek on the ball. Passing it, Schick to Vorlicki, who has a shot, and Verbruggen with the save. And Karo turning with the ball. Denis Karo on the ball, assessing his options, threading it through to Bakker, who has a shot and smashes it into the back of the net and gives the Dutch a lead in the 37th minute, which the Czech Republic were unable to answer, resulting in a victory for the Netherlands in the very first match of the group stage. And heading into match 2 of the group stage, Hungary facing off against the Dutch. And Gruber heading it down, but De Jong is there to pass to Karo. And Denis Karo passing it to Frimpong, who lays it off for Karo. Denis Karo threading it through beautifully to Lang, and Lang scores the first goal of the match for the Dutch. Truly beautiful football by the Oranje. And look at the team celebrating that goal. And Frimpong turning, passing it to Karo. Denis Karo on the ball. Denis Karo still with a fake shot. Karo having a real shot and making it 2-0 in the 27th minute of the match. A wonderful goal by Karo, putting the Dutch up 2-0, and this could get ugly. Kuipers passing it to Karo, who turns with the ball. And Karo running into space. And Karo now with some skill moves, splitting the defenders. Getting touched, still on the ball, having a shot. And Gulashi with the save. And Lang applying defensive pressure. And Lang with a beautiful tackle, passing it to Karo, who finds Bakker. And Bakker punishes Hungary, making it 3-0 in the 35th minute. And like I said, there's still time for this to get even uglier. A wonderful goal by the Dutch. And in the 64th minute, Karo's on the ball again with a fake pass. And Karo getting brought down right outside the box. Ref's gonna play advantage. Gakpo passing it to Bakker, who puts it into the back of the net to make it 4-0 for the Dutch. Malen with a beautiful outside foot pass to Bakker. And Hartman to Bakker, Bakker to Karo, Karo getting past the defense, having a shot. And Gulashi with the save, but Bakker's there to put in the rebound and make it 5-0 A hat trick for Bakker. And the Manchester United striker doing very well. Quinn Timber with a beautiful tackle. And Karo now on the ball. Karo still on the ball, taking it up the middle. Karo cutting back, passing it to Malen. Daniel Malen to Karo. Karo with the shot, and Karo scoring the 6th goal for the Dutch. A tremendous victory for the Dutch. A thunderous 6-0 victory will see the Dutch remain at the top of Group D with a goal difference of 7 and a point total of 6. And as we shift our focus to match 3 of the group stage of the Euro Cup, the Dutch face off against Denmark. And Teze with a great tackle, passing it to Karo. Denis Karo on the ball, threading it through. And it's Frimpong who passes it back to Karo. Karo and Frimpong working together. Bakker on the ball. Bakker passing to Karo. Karo smashing it into the far post and making it 1-0 for the Dutch in the 20th minute of the match. And look at Karo embracing the Dutch fans as he turns to his team to celebrate. And the Dutch up 1-0, nice and early. And Karo with a great tackle. Here's Karo, passing it to Xavi Simons. Xavi Simons back to Karo. Bakker's there, and Bakker is brought down, but it's going to be a free kick for Karo. And Denis Karo lining up for this free kick. You already know we're going to shoot. And I'm feeling it now. Here's Karo, having a shot, putting it into the top left corner. Karo with a beautiful free kick to make it 2-0 for the Dutch. And Karo adding another beautiful free kick to his tally. And here's Denmark trying to make something happen. De Jong with a back heel pass to Xavi Simons. Bakker on the ball. Bakker unable to find Karo. And Skov Olsen on the ball. Skov Olsen passing it to Granbeek. Skov Olsen back to Granbeek. And now it's Højlund on the ball. Højlund laying it off for Mortensen, who scores and brings the Danish back into this match. And here's Karo. Isaacson leaping and striding down the right flank. Isaacson in space, cutting back. Isaacson crossing it in, and it's Sorensen with a header, but Verbruggen is there to collect. And Karo turning with the ball. Denis Karo passing it over to Xavi Simons, who lays it off for Bakker. Bakker passing it to Karo. Karo with a right-footed shot, easing it into the back of the net. 3-1 to the good. And Karo is going to have himself a boogie with his teammates. And it's a well-deserved boogie. Have yourself a little dance-off all you want as the Dutch collect a 3-1 victory, which sees our point total go up to 9 points as we win Group D. And because we won our group, we face off against the runner-up of Group C, which happens to be Poland. And this is going to be a very tough match of football as we head into the quarterfinal of the Euro Cup, where the Netherlands will face off against Poland. And Dumfries to Quinten Timber. Hartman to De Jong. De Jong to Karo. Karo sees some open space and threads it through to Bakker, who passes it back to Karo, and Karo back to Bakker. And Bakker smashes it into the back of the net to put the Dutch up 1-0 in the 9th minute of the match. I felt like Eminem just there. Back to Bakker, back to Bakker. And here's Zalewski cutting back, passing it to Milik, and Arkadiusz Milik with the shot, but Verbruggen with the save. And here's Szymanski. Szymanski lobbing it over, but Dumfries is there to intercept. And Dumfries finds Karo, and Karo now taking a touch away from the defense, passing it to Bakker. Bakker passing it to Lang. De Jong finding Bakker, who has a shot and puts it into the back of the net to make it 2-0 to the Dutch. Urbanski on the ball with a long shot, and Verbruggen is there to easily collect. A goal kick for Poland. And here's Pachanowski on the ball to Narwaki. Malin heading it to Karo. And Karo's gonna pass it to Gakpo. And Cody Gakpo smashing it into the lower corner of the net, making it 3-0 to the Dutch. But we were not done there, as Karo was able to find Malin, who passed it to Bakker, who backheeled it to Karo, and Karo smashed it into the back of the net to make it 4-0 for the Dutch. And unfortunately for Poland, that is how the match would end, as the Netherlands moved on to the semi-final of the Euro Cup, where they will face off against Spain after their victory in penalties over Germany. Meanwhile, on the other side of the bracket, Portugal defeating Croatia and Italy defeating Denmark as they meet up in the semi-final. And as the Dutch get ready to face off against Spain, we can anticipate a very intense match of football. Spain, of course, was the team to beat the Netherlands in the 2010 World Cup final. And we did get our revenge in the 2026 World Cup when Karo and the Netherlands knocked Spain out to move on and win the World Cup. And Bakker passing it to Quinton Timber, who passes it back to Bakker, who smashes it into the back of the net and makes it 1-0 for the Netherlands in the 9th minute. And Javi Simons on the ball, passing it to Matson, who passes it back to De Jong, and De Jong to Karo, and Karo through the defense. Unable to get the shot off. Pedri to Gavi. Jeremy threading it through, and it's Samu on the ball having a shot near post into the back of the net. What more can you ask for if you're a Spain fan? The match level at 1-1 in the 37th minute. Karo on the ball with a beautiful touch, turning, having a shot, unable to score past Unai Simon, his former teammate. Pedri taking a touch, Karo unable to get to it. And here's Jeremy to Samu. And Samu with a brilliant pass to Jeremy, who has a shot but is unable to score. And De Ligt doing wonderfully to clear that out. Rodri passing it to Gavi. Gavi back to Pedri. And Lamine Yamal on the ball. Cutting back, passing it to Pedri. Pedri passing it to Jeremy, who has a shot just outside the post. Intense football here. And Matson passing it to Karo. And Denis Karo on the ball, taking touches. Passing it to Bakker. And Bakker lobbing it over. Balde's there with the clearance. A beautiful pass by Frimpong. Sees Bakker. Passing it to Karo. Karo through on goal. Denis Karo with a shot. Denis Karo with a goal. And he sends his team down to the ground in celebration. I don't know what the hell that celebration is all about, but the Dutch find themselves up 2-1 in this match. And here's Nico Williams on the ball, cutting in, lobbing it over, but Van de Ven is there to make the clearance. Pedri cutting back, passing it to Lamine Yamal. And Karo turning with the ball. Karo passing it to Frimpong, who passes it to Bakker. Bakker to Karo. Denis Karo on the ball, unable to do anything with it. Pedri passing it to Samu. And Samu, pass intercepted by Teze. Here's Karo on the ball. Denis Karo passing it to Bakker. Bakker threading Karo through. Karo through on goal for the second time, having a shot and putting it into the back of the net. 3-1 to the Netherlands. And look at Karo, and look at what it means to this team. Look at the fans devastated for Spain as Gavi is on the ball. And the whistle has been blown. The Netherlands advance to the final of the Euro Cup after a 3-1 victory over Spain. And we will meet Italy in the final of the Euro Cup. Can the Dutch win their second ever Euro Cup, or will Italy continue to add to their glory? Only time will tell. And here's Bakker passing it to De Jong, who finds Quinton Timber. De Jong on the ball, passing it to Karo. Denis Karo with an elastico. More elasticos. Elasticos for everyone like he's goddamn Oprah. De Jong passing it to Quinton Timber. Quinton Timber finding Karo, who finds Backer. Backer finds the back of the net in the 3rd minute of the match. And the Italians simply do not know what just hit them, as Backer has just smashed it home in the opening minutes of the match. And the Dutch off to a strong lead. And Zaccagni to Fratesi. And Nanto passing it right to Hartman, who passed it to Backer. Backer finding Karo. Denis Karo with a shot. Donnarumma with the save. Mancini to Bastoni. Donnarumma to Bongiorno. I'm gonna call him Bongiorno. And Backer working with Frimpong. Frimpong back to Backer. Backer passing it to Karo. Karo with a beautiful pass to Javi Simons, who makes it 2-0 in the 19th minute. A wonderful, beautiful, scintillating ball by Karo, resulting in a tremendous goal scored by Javi Simons. And Nanto to Barella. Barella passing to Zaccagni. Zaccagni unable to get past Dumfries. Dumfries passing it to Karo. Denis Karo on the ball. Unable to get past Keane. Fratesi dribbling. Barella passing it to Nanto. Nanto threading it through. Verbruggen is there to save it and collect the ball. Backer heading it back to Karo. Karo brought down. No foul given by the ref. Fair enough. Karo applying pressure, getting the ball back immediately. Passing it to Frimpong. Frimpong taking a touch, taking another, passing it to Karo. Karo heading towards goal, smashing it into the back of the net. 3-0 to the Netherlands. And Italy have a very disappointing halftime talk ahead of them, as we are up 3-0 before the half has even ended. And Rovella cutting back, passing to Mancini. Zaccagni to Fratesi. Karo with a great tackle. And here's Backer threading it through. De Jong to Karo. Karo through on goal. Karo trying to chip. Donnarumma. Not gonna work today, buddy. And Italy with a free kick now. And Italy with a successful free kick courtesy of Barella. A wonderful free kick. And I'll tell you what, credit where credit is due. That was a tremendous goal. And Udogie on the ball, cutting back, passing it to Chiesa. And Chiesa shielding Karo off the ball. Verbruggen's there stretching for the save. Gakpo heading the ball away. Nanto cutting back to Fratesi. Fratesi on the ball. A great tackle. Karo on the ball now. Denis Karo running in acres of space. And here's Karo getting the ball taken off him by Barella. Chiesa on the ball. Having a long shot, but Verbruggen's there to collect. And Karo turning with the ball. Passing to De Jong. De Jong back to Karo. Karo getting brought down, and that's got to be a red card. Get him out of here. Put him in jail. Put him in the fucking gulag. A yellow card, what? Fratesi to Tonali. And Fratesi on the ball again. Fratesi cutting back, passing to Tonali, just seconds left. And the ref has blown his whistle, and the Netherlands have won the Euro Cup. And Denis Karo has added another international trophy to his trophy cabinet, as the Dutch are crowned European champions for the second time in their history. A truly tremendous display of football by the Dutch in this whole tournament. We smashed teams left, right, and center, and we have truly earned this victory. And the players just celebrate in the middle of the field as they get ready to lift the Euro Cup. And here they are, lining up. They've collected their medals, and now it is time for the trophy lifting ceremony. And there's the fake-ass Euro Cup right there. in all its glory, as Karo is right next to Botman, who's ready to lift up the Euro Cup. And here we go. The Dutch have been crowned Euro Cup winners for the second time in history. Denis Karo adding another international trophy to the trophy cabinet. The World Cup in 2026, and now in 2028, the Euro Cup to cap off what has been one hell of a season for that young man, Denis Karo. And look at the Dutch players embracing the Dutch fans with their new trophy. And look at what it means to the fans. Look at what it means to the players. And look at what it means to Denis Karo. And the team now posing for their picture with the beautiful Euro Cup. And look at those happy faces in those orange shirts as they have just celebrated winning the Euro Cup for the second time in history. And just taking a look back at our road to the final, where we beat Italy 3-1 and were crowned European champions. And this has been truly a tremendous season for Denis Karo, winning the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Champions League, and now the Euro Cup. And taking a look at our new and improved trophy cabinet, you can see here we've had to make some adjustments to make way for that beautiful Euro Cup right there. And as you can see, we're filling this trophy cabinet up, which means we're gonna need another one pretty soon. And that concludes the 2027-28 season for Denis Karo. Where will we go? Will we stay at Arsenal? Will we go to another team? We'll have to find out in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.